Music is your thing?
Absolutely, yeah.
Aye.
Yeah.
And where did it all start?
It all started for me. I started singing probably from when I was around 11 or 12. Always had a love for music, in particular country music. Um, Never really started singing until I went to secondary school here, St. Columns in Derry, and they were short a few people for the school musical, and somehow got roped into that and started to just fall in love with singing.
Did you know you could sing before you went on?
No, and to be honest, I couldn't. I was absolutely useless. I really had to work at it over the years. But loved that early experience, loved being in musicals, and would definitely encourage any other young people out there whose schools might be doing that sort of thing to get in there, because you never know what it's going to lead to.
Even if you can't sing, you can be trained to sing it. So there's hope for me yet. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much. I didn't want to say that in this many words.
That's right. Did I hear a story? Was it yourself? I think I heard say it was you asked for an iPhone for Christmas.
Yeah,
had a microphone. Would that be?
That's right. So I was looking for an iPhone from Santa, and I was all geared up for that. But he didn't get my letter or something, because he brought me speakers and a mixing desk and a mic. And my brother, he was heading off to China for Christmas. He was touring an Irish dancing show, and he left me money to get backing tracks. He must have been in touch with Santa or something, because he knew that Santa was leaving me them speakers. So he gave me money to get my first backing tracks made. So got them made when I was about 12 or 13, and started singing in all the local pubs, and pretty much haven't looked back since.
Pubs at 12 or 13, do they all let you on? What way are pubs at 12 and 13 trying to get on to sing?
Well, I suppose to get them to take you in any way seriously is probably hard. And in fairness, my dad was a great help. You know, he was out there contacting all the local pubs, asking if they'd give me a chance, and anywhere that would let me at all, we'd go to. And, you know, looking back on it now, every Saturday night for me in some wee local pub felt like a big show. It was like I was playing the London Palladium or something.
Yeah.
You know, I was all excited, and it must have been well annoying for people who were out for a few quiet pints on a Saturday night, because I was there and treating it like it was this big show. But loved every single minute of it. Learned an awful lot in the pubs whenever I was young. Learned a lot about, I suppose, resilience in the music industry is something that is very, very important. And when you're 12 or 13 heading to a pub to sing, and you're all geared up that this is a big gig, and then maybe there's only 2 or 3 people there, you start to learn how to deal with, you know, I suppose upsets in the music industry is probably a good way of putting it.
Aye. So what was your favourite pub back in? Was it one that kept taking you back? Was there a local booking?
Do you know what? There were so many great local venues, both in Donegal. Most of them were in Donegal. A few here in the north as well. And do you know what? They were all just so good to me, and took me in, brought me under their wing, maybe gave me 5 or 6 gigs a year. And, you know, I'll never ever forget the people behind those pubs who kept giving me those chances, because I was very bad.
Have you went back to some and started singing now since you became good then? Have you?
Do you know what? I always sort of try and call into some places whenever I'm out and about, and, you know, if they ever have anything on, if they're doing something special and they ask me to come along, I'll always make best effort to try and be there.
They helped you, so why not?
100%.
So confidence at the young age, did you always have it? Or did you have to kind of go out there to get it nearly?
I started Irish dancing back whenever I was about 3 years of age. All my mum's side of the family were all Irish dancers. So, you know, we were going to dancing from when we were very young, and on stage from when we were very young as a result of that at feshes and stuff. And that was something that really helped build up my confidence for whenever I started singing in later years. And, you know, looking back now, whenever I started out, I could have even been a wee bit too confident, but I was just, I just absolutely loved it.
Brains have no fear, but so I'm assuming you had no fear back then.
Exactly, no fear. I would have done anything. I swear to God.
Hey, it's anything to get yourself out there, really, isn't it? And when did you notice a break come from the pubs, the people taking you serious then as maybe a young adult or even still a child?
Yeah. Well, I really worked hard at it over those years whenever I was at school, maybe 13, 14, 15. I probably should have been working on my schoolwork, but I was working on my music. I lived and breathed it. I was only allowed to gig on Saturday nights because of school. And then eventually I was allowed to go out and gig the odd Friday night. And then before we knew it, We had the Sunday nights in there as well. We were out 3 nights a week, and I just kept working at it for 14, 15, 16. And then sort of when I was doing my A-levels, again, when I should have been studying for them, as working at the music. And I recorded a song called Donegal Doll, and it just got massive coverage at that time. Like, just out of nowhere, it got a load of hits online. And then I remember the Irish Daily Mirror ringing me to do a piece, and that was like, that was massive stuff.
It was big.
To me, at that stage, that was massive stuff. And then a guy who was also a radio presenter on Highland Radio has passed away now, P.O. McCann. His son Aaron McCann does comedy, and he's very, very good at it. But P.O. called my dad to ask if I would be one of the guests on the Highland Radio concerts. They had concerts every 2 months in the Mount Errigal, like big concerts with, all the biggest names in country music. So that was probably one of the first chances I got to perform on a stage of that magnitude.
Right, on the radio show, was it?
Yeah.
Or was it?
So it was
like
ran by the radio station, but it was just ran in the Mount Errigal Hotel. It
It was a
broadcast
show,
live or
right?
anything.
Yeah.
But because the radio station were running it, they were playing your record in order to promote the show. And, it was a huge deal for me back in then.
So was that kind of touching before social media then? Or was it that it had like on social media for you?
The video for Donegal Doll sort of took off on social media at that time. I think I got like, maybe 200,000 views in maybe a week or 10 days or something like that. So that was sort of just when social media was becoming a thing that was relevant.
What was I going to say? Who do you say? Aaron McCann is playing?
Aaron McCann's P.O.'s son, yeah.
How do I think I know that name? I need to see the first one.
It was loads of stuff for your boy Shane Todd and stuff.
I know Aaron McCann.
Built a really good career for himself.
And does he still live Donegal direction?
So they're County Tyrone, but R&B's mostly based in the UK now, in the Spursmore.
We follow quite a bit of the comedy scene and stuff like that there. It's kind of, I do a wee tiny bit of comedy.
Cool.
But but no, we kind of go to quite a bit nights of comedy, to be fair, and love it. But I was sitting thinking I knew his name, but no, I actually do know his face. Didn't realise that was P.O.'s son.
That's him, yeah.
Aye. So he's took a different step from his father, and I think.
Absolutely. He's still in the same vein, but he's built a really successful career for himself.
And are you a man that kind of follows a stand-up comedy yourself? Or?
Do you know what? I only sort of follow Aaron because I would know him.
Aye.
And I had such great respect and time for his dad, but it's brilliant to see him doing so well,
Aye. It's great to see anyone doing well, especially locally.
It is, but it's still...
How many days a week do you do the radio?
5 days a week.
5 days. And does it get hard?
Do you know what?
And it's some, they say,
it's a really, really enjoyable thing. Highland Radio have been so good to me, since I started back whenever I did that first gig for P.O. And then, to think then that a couple of years later I got the opportunity to work there. I've been there 8 years now. I think I was their youngest ever presenter to have a full-time job in there. So it's been so good to me. And the people of Donegal and the Northwest, they have a huge listenership in Derry and Tyrone and further afield as well. The people have sort of kept me there for the last 8 years, and they've just been so good and so welcoming. You're in people's homes and cars every single day for 2.5 hours, and very lucky that they've been so nice to me.
See, before I started going on the radio myself, I would have listened to my own music and stuff like that. There, just connect the phone to the car like everyone does.
Yeah.
And then whenever I was going on, I says, right, I'll start listening on to everyone's show and stuff like that, see what everyone's doing and see what way they go with. And from I done it, I fell back in love with it. I think. Yeah. I don't know. I think get Bluetooth out of cars. Unless someone rings you nearly, because radio's class.
Well, there's personality in radio, and everyone has their favorite songs, and you can stick them on and listen to them and have a great time whenever you're traveling. But if there's someone on the radio to bring a bit of humor, a bit of light, even to know that the person who's the radio presenter is maybe having a bad day, and at times, sometimes radio is the only voice that some people might hear in their house for that day. People might be living on their own or whatever the case may be. And I know that's only a small minority, but for some people, that's the case. And if you can make a positive impact on someone's life, being live on radio, and that could be as easy as you having a bad day and them thinking, he's having a bad day too.
That's what happens to everyone.
Absolutely.
But I know, working on that community radio, as I say, I noticed that because no matter what show or what time, I kind of jumped on a few different slots to get trained up or whatever. And
Mm.
no matter what one, there was certain people that just kept ringing on. You
Yeah.
know, like he was listening to that this morning. I heard him talking this morning. He wanted
Yeah.
a song in the evening again. So people are listening to it all day. It's not dead. People think radio's dead, but it's far from it, I believe.
Absolutely not. And you know, the recent figures there, the JNLR figures for Highland Radio and for all commercial radio stations in Ireland came out there last week, and something like 68,000 people listen to Highland Radio every single day just in the Northwest. That's a huge amount of people.
Does that make you any more nervous then when you're talking? Does that make you kind of feel, oh dear, people is listening to me?
Do you know what? Not really. I don't know. I just get in there and I just love chatting
fun,
away and playing a bit of music and just try and be myself.
Do you bring many guests on?
Yeah, we had different guests on at different times. You know, if most of my guests will be country music based because obviously my show is country music based, and if they were doing a show locally, we'd always get them in, maybe try and help them promote it in whatever way we can. You know,
there's a man over in the corner doesn't miss your show. He was telling me he's a wee fanboy of your show, aren't you, Mr. Brian McBell?
Well, that's me up to 2 now, Mum and
that's Yoda. Your dad wouldn't even listen.
No, definitely not. He's from Derry. He's a rocker. Sorry,
he's a rocker.
That's what he says.
See, right? Do you take inspiration out of some of the songs that you listen to write your own songs? See the way you are a songwriter as well. What many songs have you written?
Sure. Look, I've written loads of songs, but I haven't released that many. And you know, you get inspiration from songs from all different places. Some of them can be like mad things. Like you could be in the shop and you could hear somebody say, like, you know, the way here, especially in Derry, there's so many turn of phrases. You know, you could hear a turn of phrase and you could think that that's a good hook for a song. And before you know it, you have a song written. But I suppose at the minute, most of the gigs that I'm doing are dance based. So when we're writing songs, we're writing for the dancers that comes to the gigs, to jive, waltz, whatever, line dance, whatever the case may be. So you're writing with them in mind too.
So in your head, are you starting with a beat? Are you starting with a beat? Do you say, right, I want to write a jive? So are you sitting down to write a song, or is it coming to you and then you're doing it and saying that would make a good jive song or a good...
So normally I'll get a bit of an idea first, whatever the case may be. Like it could be in the shop, you could hear somebody say something, write that into notes. And then my manager, John, from County Fermanagh, is a very, very good songwriter as well. He wrote a song for Ireland in the Eurovision back in the day that was sang by Mark Roberts, and very, very, very talented songwriter. So I would sit down with him with the ideas, we'd hash it out, and you know, my idea might be somewhere different to his, but we generally end up meeting in the middle. And having something.
So do you listen to him more, or would you fight with him? No, I like my idea. Would you... I know he's kind of made it in the writing of songs, as you say, if he's already wrote a song that ended up in Eurovision, or would you be saying, no, listen, I like my way, so can we go my way, or would you respect that and say, let's go yours?
I think it's a thing. I've never had a situation like that where we haven't in the end mutually agreed. You know, if we're sitting down and we're trying something and he wants to do something this way, then we'll try it that way, and then we might try it my way and then decide what we think's better. But you generally always end up agreeing on what is the supposed best way. And the funny thing is, you could write a song and you could think it's the best song in the world, and you might release it and never hear tell of it again. And then you might write a song that you think, that is terrible. You record it and put it out there and people love it. So you never know.
If you think it's terrible, do you hit sing it again?
No, I don't mean terrible. You know, when you write something and you think, that's going to be a hit, when that's there, and there's something you think, that's the one there now, and you might never hear tell of it again.
Is there songs you have people coming up and asking you to sing and you're like, not again?
No, to be honest, thank God.
You appreciate it.
It's, you know, if somebody comes up and asks you to sing a song that, you know, you've recorded or whatever, that means that they like it, and that can really be a good thing, to be honest.
Well, true, yeah. Well, who's your favourite singer, band?
Do you know what? It changes. It doesn't change from day to day, but I like such a wide variety of music. Like, I love American country music. I love Irish folk music. I love Irish country music, which is what I'm...
Should be listening to my show on a Wednesday morning.
What time's it be on?
8 to 10.
Are you mad? I remember that there in the 80s. That's the middle of the night for me.
I'll even buy you an alarm clock to wake you up at 8. 5
I love that. But you know, I have so many different favorite singers. Like, I love the voice of Paul Brady, and I love the songs that he's written. Of course, a County Tyrone man as well.
Aye.
I love the songs that Phil Coulter has given us down through the years. Of course, an absolute legend of Derry City and of Ireland as well.
Oh, of course.
So some people don't realise the amount of songs that he's written, outside of the stuff that he's recorded himself. Like he wrote, Congratulations for Cliff Richard.
Right.
He wrote most of the Bay City Rollers stuff. Like that guy has just given us so many great songs down throughout the years. But supposed to answer your question, my favourite singer of all time would be an American country singer called Vince Gill.
Vince Gill, love Vince Gill, love Go Rest High on the Mountain, isn't it?
I actually recorded that in my last album.
Aye, did you?
Yeah.
Excellent. How'd you get on recording it?
Great. We did it slightly different to the original because you're not going to sing it like Vince Gill for a start.
No, nobody else.
We did it sort of a wee bit almost Irish folk style, but it turned out lovely,
I love his stuff where he just does it in the house.
Yeah.
He was sitting there, it's that song he actually sings where he's just walking about and there's just guitars everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of students sitting there and the next one he just lifts the guitar and starts playing. Everyone just gets mesmerised by his voice.
Yeah.
It's not to love Van Skill. But here being your kind of, when you were growing up, looking up to someone like that, or would you even hear to him at that age?
Not so much. No, I sort of grew into his music as I started to like it. It's hard for me to pinpoint any one act growing up that I would have loved. I went to see Daniel O'Donnell with my godparents back when I was about 14 in the Clanree in Letterkenny, and I remember seeing his live performance and just thinking, this is absolutely class. This is what I want to do.
Well, I remember my wife asked me one year what did I want for Christmas, and it was Charlie Lansbury tickets.
Yeah.
And I remember I loved Charlie Lansbury, but she got the tickets, never heard him, didn't know who he was. The show was only a couple of weeks away, so she never even listened to his music. And we landed on the Millennium Forum. It wasn't over the wee tuck shop, and the girl behind the tuck shop came up and says, "Oh, he's here for the show." And my wife was, we're going. Husband wanted the tickets, and she's all, who's weighing? She says, "No, it's just me and him." And your woman kind of looked. She says, "Oh, you ever heard him before?" And it's just really aiming it towards there's a real old folky, and she didn't have a clue what she was going. But I was upset.
He's unbelievable,
I think he's unreal.
And he wrote a great song. That Foster and Allen actually had a huge hit with "I Will Love You All My Life" as well.
You know what? He sung it a few times himself, didn't he?
He did. He wrote it. Brilliant singer song.
Unreal. But my wife, she didn't know what she was. She thought she was going on for something lively, but all he needed to do was just sit there. And this was on now. Is he still living?
Oh, he is.
Has he still turned? But
yeah, he still does the odd gig. Yeah.
Is he? I didn't realise this was a couple of years ago. So I'm sitting high and looked very kind of just. He said, of course, he's not going to be jumping around the stage or anything like that there. But I think she expected, because a few weeks before, whatever, he might have been Nathan Carter or something like that there. And she's thinking, oh, this boy must be like the last boy or so. Completely different. But no, thought he was amazing.
No, he's fair. Definitely.
You started a band this year, is it? Was it this year last?
Yeah, I started there on the 1st of February this year.
Aye. And already won on prizes?
Sure, look. What happened was I started doing the pubs when I was younger. Then as I was progressed with that, I started to use a sub-hire band to do the odd gig here and there called the Ryan Turner Band. Ryan's based in Carndonagh, an incredibly talented musician. And I worked with them over the last couple of years doing bits and bobs, and it was starting to grow. And then last October, I signed with John Farry, who's now my manager. John spent 14 years managing Nathan Carter in the early part of his career there up until maybe about 2 years ago, and the two of them parted company, and John approached me to say that he was looking to get back into the game and that he was interested in working with me. And I always really wanted to start a band. That was always my end goal, was to have my own band out in the road. But it was something that was probably a dream, but maybe a wee bit too far out of reach. The financial implications of putting a band together and on the road in the Irish country scene is just huge. Like it's a massive financial responsibility. So John came on board and sort of instilled the belief in me that we could do it. And we launched the band on the 1st of February this year and haven't looked back.
Amazing. I've been listening to it, to be fair, and I'm loving it.
Thank God, we're loving it too. And so lucky to have such a great group of lads around me as well. There's 5 in the band and then me. And then we've got 2 of our old crew as well. And, they're just such good lads. Not only are they very talented in their field, but they're really nice people as well. and they're a bit of crack. And I think that's something that's nearly more important than the musicianship when you're out and about on the road, and you have people there with you, surrounded by people who have your back and can take the hand out of you at the same time.
Of course,
so very, very lucky to have the team of guys that I have with me.
And if someone comes to see, what instruments are they seeing on that stage?
So we've got lead guitar, bass guitar.
Name who's on them.
So John O'Connor is on lead guitar. Then Jimmy Hendry is on bass guitar. Drums is a guy called Brent McCook. Brent's from Coleraine. And then on keyboards and accordion, we have Jim McVeigh. He's musical director and band leader, and very, very lucky to have Jim on board with us. He has such a wealth of knowledge. And then on fiddle, trumpet, mandolin, and whistles, we have a guy. He's originally from France. He spent a long time playing with the RTE Concert Orchestra before he got into the scene that he's in now. And his name's Sebastian Poutier. So yeah,
what a name,
Sebastian Poutier.
Poutier. Yeah. And if you pronounce it wrong, are you corrected? Sounds like a name that you could say wrong or there's a not.
I don't know. I might pronounce it wrong at the weekend. Just
maybe get back this on that one. But that use our turn with that band now.
We're actively touring all the time. We kicked off on the 1st of February in the Allingham and Bundoran, and we're pretty much all over Ireland every weekend. Like there was last weekend there, or a couple of weeks ago, we had a weekend where we were in Cork on a Friday, Tyrone on a Saturday, and then Killarney on a Sunday. So, you're down and up and down. But it's so enjoyable. There's nothing I love more than going out and playing with
them. Is this like a full-time job? And does everyone have to treat it and put it first nearly? So, like, sometimes it's even hard to meet a friend for a coffee. How you get many is there in total? It has to show up.
So there'd be 8 of us.
There has to be 8 that shows up.
Yeah.
If it's hard for me to meet one of these lads here for a coffee, how can you get 8 lads to do it unless they're putting it first always? Is that what?
Well, they're professional musicians, and that is their priority. And even the road crew that we have there, Rory Cummins is from Derry here. Rory looks after the sound for us, and they're all fully professional. They're full-time professionals, so that's what they do. And everyone takes it serious, and shows up every day punctually and ready to do what we do. But we really, really enjoy it too, to be honest.
Everyone seems to be, you're naming different places and different towns there, so if everyone's kind of far apart.
Yeah.
Do they all live there or originally from them places, or do you kind of not meet together? Or?
So most of the time I will travel with Jimmy, the bass player who lives in Sion Mills. We'll travel together most of the time. Then John O'Connor, he's in Enniskillen, so he's in the middle of Ireland, so it's very handy for him no matter where
he's handy.
Then Jim is in County Down, and Brent is up in Coleraine, so the two of them will carpool together. Then Sebastian's in Dublin, so he can go anywhere. So there's normally maybe about three cars going to any one guy,
But so you have to be more structured now than when you were singing by yourself. You probably could have said, I'll take that on Friday night. Where now,
exactly,
if it's not booked a year in advance, 6 months in advance, and everyone agrees to it, you can't really take it, can you?
Well, it doesn't really work like that. We have our schedule there, and if something comes in that we're going to do, then we're going to take the booking on, and it becomes everyone's responsibility almost to be there, But the lads, that's what I'm saying. They're so good. If I say something has come up here where there's a gig now in 3 weeks' time on a Friday night that we didn't originally have, and everyone's up for it,
Yeah. And are they travelling home every night, or are you staying over places? Where's the furthest you'd need to go? Where you think, right, I need to sleep over? Or
it depends on what you've got on the next day. It depends where you are the next night. Like we could go to Killarney and back in one night. It's doable. We've all done it. We're mad in the head, but it's the scene that we're in. We're not playing to 5,000 people a night. You're chatting hundreds of people a night. So logistically, it's just impossible for 8 guys to stay over every single night.
That's what I'm like.
And most of the time, if you're in wherever the case may be, let's say Ballinasloe and Galway on a Sunday, you get up the road. It's just what we do. We live on the road. We live in the 24-hour garages. There's a 24-hour there in Monaghan that has an all-night deli, and it gets hit up by us nearly every weekend.
There you are. If you want to see David James, that's where you see him.
Yeah.
at the 24-hour deli.
See me there for free.
For free, yeah, you'll not even need to pay or no tickets and do you sing for them for free food on there or anything? Or
I
didn't
did try
need
that
to.
one time that I got put out, so
You're for that.
wasn't I back?
No, I can't. Don't get me wrong. I'm a lorry driver, so I do a lot of miles, but I couldn't think of. I don't know, through the night, I suppose, too. So it's probably easier going the speed limit at night with no traffic.
The gigging is the really easy part of it. It's the traveling is the hard part, but that's where, traveling together is a great thing. Myself and Jimmy there, as I mentioned, the bass player, we'll travel together and we could get into the car there at the bottom of Ireland and chat the whole way to the top of Ireland.
So you just need to chat because you can't sit in there. I would like to sing in the car, but then if you are singing in the car, to go and sing.
No, we do
not
that
this
too.
again.
We do that too. We do that too.
But I know chatting across Ireland. But no, is there anywhere you prefer to play more than others? Where is your favourite place? There's always a place away from home. It feels like home.
It's hard to say. This year now has been a lot of new places for me. A lot of places that I'd never played in before, and I have to say, the people have been so welcoming in all the places. I love going down. There's a place we play in Adair on a Monday night in Limerick called the Woodlands. It's brilliant. The Glen Eagle in Killarney, Charleville in Cork, Shearwater in Galway, the Ashtown and Gorey in Wexford. People have been so nice to us everywhere we've went, really. It's always lovely to do a gig, I think, on your doorstep as well. And the Clanree in Letterkenny, they do regular Sunday night dances there. And I'm actually doing my own weekend there next year at the end of February. We're doing 2 nights there, a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday afternoon. And that's sort of to mark the first anniversary of being on the road with the band. So people will be coming from all over Ireland, and some people are coming over from Scotland and England for that as well, to spend the weekend.
Do you like to hear it when people come and travel, they see you? Is that kind of
absolutely
mesmerising?
It's lovely, and that happens all the time. The dancing scene in Ireland, the country dancing scene I'm on about, people travel for hours to go to gigs every week. Like, you could be playing in Moy there in County Tyrone on a Saturday night, and you might have people up from Carlow who come to see you and maybe drive home, might stay over. There's people from Tipperary who might head off to Limerick there on a Monday night and head back again. It's crazy how loyal the people are that follow country music.
Do you find the south of Ireland for dancing is more, or could you take this to our UK based, or?
So the dancing scene is something that's very strong here in Ireland, very strong in Donegal.
Massive.
And then you have, unfortunately, in the north of Ireland at the minute, I think it's still very strong. It's just there's a bit of a lack of venues. Like the Ryandale in Moy on a Saturday night, he's hopping full of country music bands every Saturday night. And I would love to see another couple of venues around the north of Ireland that have regular country music dances, and we play the Melon in Omagh as well. But it is very strong all over Ireland, to be honest.
But do you find it's more wee country towns in the north of Ireland? Like Derry here locally, I don't see nowhere that you can go for like a dance night unless it's put on advanced kind of thing.
That's what I'm saying. I would love to see some more of that, because I think there's definitely a hunger there for it. And as I said, lots of people travel to the country gigs, so it doesn't really matter where they are. But I would love to see, some more venues in the north of Ireland opened up, catering for this, because there's definitely a hunger there for it. Like the Farmers Bash was on in Belfast there back in August, and we were part of it. And, that was just plain to be seen. It was in the Boucher Road playing fields, and there was thousands and thousands of people there.
So it shows the want for it, but
there's a want for it. And the great thing about it is there's people of all ages go to these things as well. You could see nights there where you would have a daughter, a mother, and a grandmother all at the one gig.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's almost unique to the
country. It's nearly lost in every other aspect, because who goes out with their mother kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's a lovely thing to see. And I think it's, as I say, it's one of the things that's almost unique about country music.
What about America? I would say there's massive one for it in America. Have you been?
Yeah, so we do a cruise every year that's run by a lady called Gertrude Byrne, and it's a full Irish charter cruise. So she charters the full ship, and lots of singers from here go out to it. So I go out, Daniel O'Donnell goes out, Nathan Carter goes out, Jimmy Buckley, Dominic Kerwin. There's lots of us that go. And then you might have 2,000 fans. About 80% of them would be American and 20% Irish and from around the world. And they go there for that week. And we would fly about the Caribbean or wherever the case may be for the week. And that'd be brilliant, to be honest.
Do you have your spot to kind of stay away from people? Because I would say if you're walking around a cruise ship and someone's there to see you, you're nearly getting too many fanboys in the one spot now, or does it work like that?
Not at all, no. Look,
you don't mind it.
That's the thing about people in the Irish country music scene. We're not pop stars or rock stars. We're the kind of people that,
and sit and have a chat with.
You might come and see us at a gig on a Friday night, and then you might see us in Aldi or something on the Saturday.
Yeah.
We're just normal people living normal lives that just do something that wee bit weird for a job.
But was there ever the first time where someone actually noticed you and they were like, "Here's David James, what sticks in your head?" There's the first time someone actually says, "There he is," or "Oh, look at him."
It's always a funny sort of thing. I always feel, it's such a nice thing for people to want to talk to you, and I always find it strange. Like, what do you want to chat? I'm only ever too delighted to chat to whoever wants to chat to me, but I just can't understand why they want to chat to me in the first place.
Well, I would say they're interesting guy just and stuff like that there, but it's the stories behind. But you says you're not really famous for us, but you are to someone. Realistically, you are to someone that's looking up to you. That's someone that wants to be on that scene. Someone that's kind of young and thinking, I want to do what he does, whether it's the radio, whether it's the singing, the dancing, whatever.
Yeah, but that's only a good thing, to be fair. And it's really, really nice to think that some people might look up to what you do, because it's not that long ago that I was looking up to other people in the position that I'm in now. So I suppose when you put it like that.
And then people you looked up to, have you sang with them all now already? Have you? That's what
it's a very small, close-knit community. Like I remember telling you there about the concert I went to see Daniel O'Donnell in back when I was 14, and I was hooked. And what happened then was I was just working away, singing away, and just before COVID, I was working with Highland Radio obviously at the time, and we were doing a big concert to celebrate 30 years of Highland Radio, and I was on it, and Daniel O'Donnell was on it, and we were hoping to sing a song together that night, but then COVID just kicked in, so the concert was cancelled. But Daniel and me were chatting over and back during COVID, and we ended up deciding to record a song together. So we did that and released that. I think we brought it out maybe in 2022. Song written by a man from Donegal called Shuni Cramsey. And, I suppose 14-year-old me that went to that show in Letterkenny would never ever thought that I would have got the opportunity to record with someone of Daniel's magnitude.
And is there anyone other than Daniel that you would want to kind of record with, whether local or abroad or America, or is there someone that you would love to?
There's so many of my friends in the scene that are out there and doing it that I would love to record with, working on the Irish country scene. I would love to record with so many of them. I suppose stateside, I would love to record something with Vince Gill, and I would love to record something with Dolly Parton,
And if they're listening or watching the podcast, let's hope one of them's going to... They do. Dolly's a regular listener.
They're bound to be.
But do you know who I was massively disappointed in, and I absolutely love and seen her in Country to Country, was Reba McEntire.
Oh, really?
I didn't like her live.
No.
And I'm raging. I don't like her live, but I think she's absolutely amazing. Whether it's the acting she does, the singing she does, everything that she does.
Yeah.
Love her until I seen her live.
Oh, you'll be saying the same thing about me now.
No, not jealous.
Next gig.
But is there anyone you've ever kind of seen yourself and you were like, I hyped it up to be, or?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I went to see Shania Twain in Belfast. Now, to be fair to her, it was absolutely bucketing the rain. Like, it was pelting it down. And I don't know if that sort of spoiled it or not. Like, she's unbelievable as an artist. She has so many hit songs. But I honestly think it was the weather. It wasn't her fault at all. Yeah.
So Shania Twain then?
Shania Twain.
All right, then.
Aye.
Was it under?
There you go.
That was under.
There you are. Miguel's seen her under.
Yeah. Completely different story.
But then that's it. She's getting a hell of a lot more for a Vegas show than one in, where was it?
Belfast. Falls Road as well. Falls Road, maybe.
Have you ever stood in places like that and thought, I played up there, or I
Yeah.
I could be doing that tonight, kind of thing, or
I sure lucked out. You know, it's hard to say, really. I suppose there's so many shows that I've went to down through the years in the Millennium, and always looked at that stage and thought I would love to have my own concert in the likes of this venue. And thankfully we're going to be doing that now next year.
is this your first time in the Millennium Forum now in February? Was it what date in February?
It's February the 26th.
And the tickets are on sale and all.
Tickets are on sale now, and I suppose it's going to be a huge night for me personally. You know, I've sang in there before, but this is my own show that we're putting on, and people are going to be coming to see our show. Well, hopefully they're going to be coming to see our show.
Oh,
so
I'm sure they will.
we're looking forward to it. And, you know, I suppose half of my life, I grew up as sort of like a country boy. I was from Clay, and, you know, grew up there. On my mum's side of the house are all farmers, and then my dad's from Craigan. So, you know, it's sort of like a half and half thing. So I went to school here in Derry as well. So it's going to be a very, very special night. Like, Derry is definitely part of who I am, and part of Derry has helped form me as a person. I love the people of Derry, and that's going to be a very special night in there for sure.
So that is the venue that you eyed up all these years, and you're finally getting.
Do you know, you always have things that you look at that you think, I would love to be doing that, and then you get there and do it, and then you move on to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. But the Millennium was always a venue that I've thought I would just love to have my own show in here. So I'm really, really looking forward to it.
And would you have been a young boy watching the Late Show thinking you could have been on that at any stage?
You know, I think everyone grew up watching the Late Show.
That's what I mean. But did you ever think the fact?
Never ever thought that I'd get the chance to be on there, to be honest. You know, grew up watching it every Friday night. Then the toy show was always the big thing. And just...
Have you done the toy show?
Never done the toy show, but done the Late now a few times, and it's a fantastic experience. A great honour anytime that you're invited on there, and nice to get the recognition on there as well.
And would you have been the youngest on the stage there a few weeks ago? Was it you were on? Who were you singing with? Who were you there? No, Daniel was there. No,
Daniel was there. Nathan Carter was there. Mike Denver, Jimmy Buckley. There was loads of us there, and the youngest would have been myself and Claudia Buckley. We're pretty much the same age. I think am I a couple of weeks younger than Claudia? I could be completely wrong there.
You're the baby. No, you're the baby.
Sure, we'll go with that.
And do you see yourselves now, like, out with the old and with the new would be the wrong way to put it, but you know what I'm saying when I'm saying that? Like, yous are the next.
Well, there's so many amazing acts there that have sort of carved the way for us to be able to do what we do. You know, even like back to 50 years ago, when you would have had, you know, like Brendan Shines of the world, Dickie Rock, all these amazing people. So they carved the way to allow us to do what we do. And I suppose in the last number of years there, we've been lucky enough to be working with the likes of, you know, Philomena Begley, Brendan Shine there, as I mentioned, and all these great people. So I don't think it's a case of out with the old and in with the new, but I definitely think that new blood coming into the music scene is very important.
And if someone is sitting there and thinking, I want to do that, or I could do that, what advice would you give them as a young child? Or would you advise now the way you done it and go to pubs? Would that be
100%?
That would be as relevant now as it was then.
I would say get out there and sing, whether that's playing an instrument, playing with your backing tracks. Get out there, do as many gigs in pubs as you can. Most of them will be just yourself and maybe a couple of people. Get out there and keep doing it. And, you know, in the music industry, there's an awful lot of highs and lows. There's an awful lot more, not lows, but there's an awful lot of things that aren't going to go your way.
Learning curves.
I suppose learning to be resilient and taking that in the chin, trying not to take it personally, and just keep being persistent.
And what was the biggest learning curve that you may have had? What was the biggest kind of... Did you ever say, I'm throwing the towel on here after this gig or after that gig, or this isn't happening for me? Was there any kind of real low that you had to say, you know what, no, get over it, let's go?
It's hard to say. I remember, I don't know what age I had been, maybe about 16. And I spent maybe about 8 weeks or 10 weeks rehearsing with a band from Derry here, actually. and we were supposed to be doing a gig at the, what do you call it now, the Jazz Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I had everybody and their dog told about this gig, and it was supposed to be in the City Hotel. And to me, this was massive deal.
Yeah. So it's biggest gig.
Yeah. And, you know, all of my family were looking forward to it, whether they wanted to or not. They were all going. You know, all my family, my aunties and uncles, they were all going. And I still don't know why to this day, but a couple of weeks before the gig was pulled. And I remember just feeling, I almost felt ashamed because the gig was cancelled. I felt like, you know, I had bigged it all up and now it wasn't happening. And I felt like I was letting, you know, everyone down because this wasn't happening, because they were all going to come along. And I remember just being in my room, door closed. I'm pretty sure I was about 16, door closed, speaking to no one. And, you know, you can sulk for a day or maybe sulk for 2 days, and then you just get up and get on with it. Because when it's something that you love doing that much, no matter what the setback is, I think you're always going to get back up. And I would say that to anyone who's interested in trying to get into the scene. As I said, an awful lot of things aren't going to go your way. There's going to be more times than not, you're going to think that something's going to happen and it ends up not happening. But just be resilient, have your wee sulk if you want, and then get up and get on with it.
That's it. Just get up and go. If that's what you love doing, do it. That's it. Yeah.
You know, I could be. It wouldn't bother me. You know, obviously, I'm loving being out with my band and stuff now. But if I was still singing in the pubs, I'd still be happy, because singing and performing is just what I love doing, to be honest, on any stage, no matter how big or small.
See, before the band and the travelling that you were doing and stuff like that there, would you have been doing the same amount of travelling, let's say?
No, not quite as much.
No.
Not as extensively. When I was doing the one-man thing, you know, that would have been on a more local basis, you know, a couple of hours from home, might have been as far away as it got. And then I started working with the Ryan Turner Band, as I mentioned, and that started off all locally as well, where I would book them for gigs that maybe I was running or whatever. And then that grew a bit more legs as well, and I started to travel a bit more around the country with them. And I was very lucky then, because I was able to go in the van with them, because that was a pretty much self-contained unit. And those guys are so good to me as well. It really gave me a great start. But now, since I've launched my own band out on the road, there's definitely an awful lot more miles, but I wouldn't change it, to be honest.
What does David James do in his spare time? When you're not singing, what are you doing?
That's a good question. I like a good sleep now, to be honest.
A good sleep, so other than a Wednesday morning between 8 and 10, because we know you're listening to the Phily-It show on Drive 105, obviously.
Obviously, that's what you'd be doing.
And I don't take my afternoon naps between 3:30 and 2:30 and 5.
In my spare time, I like to play a bit of golf. Very badly, but I still like to play a bit of golf. And, you know, I've got 3 nephews there now. 2 of them live in Derry here, actually. So I love spending time with them, and moved out of home earlier this year as well, bought my own house. So I'm always trying to do stuff around there,
And which side of the border did you buy the new house?
I bought my house in Donegal, to be honest.
Donegal, aye.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Donegal, albeit right on the border with Derry there. We always said that we had euros in one pocket and stare for each other. And, you know, as I say, I went to school, went to St. Colum's College here in Derry, went to Pennyburn for primary 1 and primary 2. And I don't know why, but I hated that in there. And I'm sure it was nothing to do with the school. But I moved out to Belugri then in Nixon's Corner, and there was only 60 students or something in that. So I loved that. So yeah, in Donegal.
Funny you say golf, right? I went to the driving range, me and Patrick from Patrick Ventures. I'm not allowed to call him PT Pat no more. He's not a PT no more, are you? But anyway, me and Patrick went to the driving range last night for the first time probably ever. And I don't want to make it a career. I don't want to be a millionaire, but I could.
You probably could.
Yeah.
No, you've got the physique.
I have a dart player's physique, not a golfer's.
You do look like a golfer, to be fair.
No, I've got the golf player's physique, not the, but no, or the darts player, sorry, should I say. My Wayne showed both of us up. He goes to he's 30. Well, he's 14 next week, but he's going down, and he's just hitting it for fun. I don't know. He's very good, to be fair.
It's a great sport, though. It's great in terms of clearing your mind and stuff. It is. It's a lovely, relaxing way to annoy the head of yourself.
Well, the only thing that me and Patrick actually did clear was our mind, because we didn't clear the ball. barely left. Barely left the tee. But no, that's only the driving range. I don't think I would go back out. I don't know. Everyone was laughing at me. I don't know. I like when people laugh at me when I'm doing stand up, but I don't like when people laugh at me when I'm doing something serious. So something like, but no. Would you ever get, and do you do the hardcore golfing? Are you one of these people who could go out for hours, or?
Yeah, we play and
How long does it take you to do what, 9 hole, 18 hole?
18 is probably about 4 hours, and it's you'll find an awful lot of people in the entertainment industry end up golfing, because once you get into it, it is a great way to relax, and then you end up, like, I've been invited to a few pro-ams and stuff like that. I've got to do a few of those. It's been brilliant, so it brings some nice opportunities too.
Aye, rubbing shoulders with other golfers just and stuff.
Me and we were doing this thing in Downings. Me and Keith Duffy were in a team together, along with a fella called Marcus Briere, who's part of the Master Series. So it's like sort of like semi-retired pros, let's say older golfers. But we were in a team together one time. That was good crack.
Aye. Do you realise how well are you good first? Would you be
no.
But do you realise then how bad you are when you're playing with an ex-pro golfer? Does that kind of open your eyes? Or?
Them guys are just so good. It's unbelievable. But the Ryder Cup's coming to Adair now in 2027.
Signing up.
The hotel that we play, when you go into Adair, the Adair Manor's here, and the hotel that we play in is just literally there. So climb over the fence and into the Ryder Cup.
Favorite golf course
that I've played? Donegal's unbelievable for golf. Like Ballyliffin there is just class. I love Ballyliffin and I love Downings.
And are you a member of any, or?
Member in Northwest there in Fawn.
Oh, right. That's the one you see as you're driving on the bunker, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know a few people pulled out of that, and they just says that they were very unfair during COVID. Says they were still.
Well, I was a COVID golfer, so I only started playing during COVID, so I don't know.
Someone says to me when it was locked down and things like that there, that the membership wasn't honoured and stuff like that there. So I don't know. Maybe
I don't know, but I have to say, since I've been there,
you've never had
a great experience.
So where you are, we found 2 places now to find you. We could get you on a 24-hour deli or a golf course.
If you're on the golf course,
don't approach them.
Don't be looking around the middle of it. Sort of towards the edge.
Sand and water. Stick to the beach.
I swear, I put more golf balls in the Swilly down there. I don't know that.
Really? No, I don't know. I wouldn't have got it that far. That's it. I remember when I was younger, I actually went to the driving range too. It was only man nearly split myself. I chipped it straight up. It hit the thing of the roof and came back down. I knew then it wasn't for me. Before the Millennium Forum, do you have anything coming up? Before people wants to see?
When we come back now, we finish up for Christmas on the 21st, and then we're back the 26th through to the 31st. And then we'll have a small break of a few days in January. And then we're starting our concerts then. And that's a first for us. As I say, everything that we've been doing up to this point has been dances. So breaking into the concerts, and our first one is in the Ardoin Theatre in Enniskillen on January the 31st. And then that's all building up then to the big one, which is the Millennium on the 26th of February.
Where's people find you on your socials and stuff like that there? Where's the best to get you and see these gigs if you're looking?
Yeah, so my website is davidjamesmusic.co.uk. All the dates will be on there, but also Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all these things. You'll see all our information on there. Our gigs are always posted where we're going to be that week as well.
Do you handle your own social media, or does someone do it? More a careless question.
I do a lot of it myself, but in terms of the graphic design and all that type of thing and the videos,
that's GPT.
Pretty much. There's a girl called Anya who does that for me, and she's absolutely brilliant at it. Very lucky to have her as well. She's great. I could send her the details for a poster and she might have it back to you in half an hour. She's brilliant. So lucky to have her on board.
And do you have a camera crew on or do you need a camera crew? Because I know a man that's always plugging himself.
You never know. It'd be nice to capture some bits in the Millennium too, wouldn't it?
That's
So yeah,
there you are. You never know, Miguel. You never know.
Yeah.
But no, great meeting you anyway, David.
you too. Thanks very much.
I know. Thank you very much for coming on.
Pleasure.